18 months after the controversial formation of AUKUS, Joe Biden welcomed new leaders and made new declarations.
Today, we're announcing the steps to carry out our first project under AUKUS and developing Australia's conventionally armed nuclear-powered submarine capacity.
It's called the Optimal Pathway, and here's what's proposed. Starting next decade, Australia will acquire at least 3 US Virginia-class nuclear-powered submarines. By the 2040s, Australia plans to build its own fleet of nuclear-powered subs, co-designed with the United Kingdom and incorporating US and UK technology. Meanwhile, Australian personnel will train in the UK and US, and Australia's port infrastructure will be upgraded to handle the all-powerful new submarines.
The acquisition of a nuclear-powered submarine capability is the most complex project, not only that the Australian Department of Defence has done, but Australia as a whole has ever done.
AUKUS is hard. It's really, really, really hard. And it's uncomfortable for the bureaucracy. It's uncomfortable. I don't mean that as a criticism. AUKUS was intended to disrupt how they do things. AUKUS is intended to disrupt even how you do procurement. It's how you do training, how you do recruitment, where you base, how you build, how you think, how you interoperate. It's intended to disrupt all of this because it needed disrupting, because the threat was here and our capability was going to be here.
Today, a new chapter in the relationship between our
As Australia's biggest ever project comes to life, it's worth reflecting on our troubled history with submarine acquisitions and examining the current state of our defensive capability.
When we look at the optimal pathway, we're still around about nearly 10 years from having the first new submarine. And so that will be, around 25 years from that initial statement in 2009 before we get any more submarine capability at all.
How many decades did we lose?
Look, I think we did lose a decade there, but there was definitely many lost years there at a time when we could least afford it.
As we wait for the new subs under AUKUS, the Collins-class submarine must continue to fill the strategic shortfall. It's a tall order for a diesel-powered fleet that's been in service since 1996.
We will continue to spend billions to extend the life of Collins. That's what we need to do. More than any other capability that we operate, it is the one which gives any adversary pause for thought. It is the one which projects our nation the furthest. It is utterly, utterly essential that we maintain this capability going forward.
It's an early start here in Western Australia, and we're off on what promises to be an extraordinary journey.
We're currently heading out into the very deep waters of the Indian Ocean. We're a couple of miles off the coast of Fremantle, and we're about to meet up with one of Australia's 6 precious Collins-class submarines. It's a very rare and privileged opportunity to inspect Australia's most important strategic deterrents.
This is one of our diesel-powered submarines.
Wow.
I'm calling it home for the next 24 hours. It's also my first time in a southern sea. At 78 metres long and weighing around 3,500 tonnes, Walla has a crew of 60. Their motto is tenacity.
All right, what do you want me to hold on to? Yep, so if you stand around facing this way. Yep.
And I'm about to find out why.
Great work. I'll get next turn.
As I'm sure you're all aware, we have our good friends from Sky News on board, so please make them feel welcome. But have a good watch. Tenacity.
Doesn't matter whether you're the most junior or the most senior person, your fate is tied to the collective strength and weaknesses of the team.
Mark Hammond is the Chief of the Australian Navy. He's also a former submariner. How would you like me to refer to you?
Just call me Mark.
Right, you sure?
Totally.
Okay. You know better than anyone what life is like underneath the waves. What is it like?
It is a privileged experience. It is
Daunting, scary?
Look, I've heard it described as 98% boredom and 2% sheer terror.
And it's that 2% of sheer terror that worries me.
When you shut that hatch and you proceed underwater, rank doesn't matter. It's what you bring to the team that really matters.